Hello, everybody, and welcome to Somebody's Mama podcast. We're your hosts, Nicole
and Kendra.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate you guys' support. Please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, come talk to us every week. New episodes every Wednesday. So yes, please subscribe.
Thank you guys for listening so far. Give yourself a round of applause.
Yes, because the views or downloads are there, honey.
Yes, I was so excited when you finally told me how I can properly read the analytics.
Listen, if y'all start hearing sponsored posts,
just we thank you.
We thank you. No. When the giveaways start rolling, you know why. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Kendra, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. It was actually really fun. I don't remember if I did anything on Friday. I don't think I did. But Saturday, we decided to do a family day. So after we did like our Saturday cleaning and all that stuff, we went to Victoria Gardens. It's a little outdoor mall out this way for people that don't know.
Yeah.
And we took the kids, and they have a little train that drives around the plaza. And the last time we went, Kendon is like, "Oh, I want to ride the train," but it wasn't operating that day. So we took them on the train, and I was happy that they actually cleaned the train in between each kid, because I was ready to have my wipes and my spray and stuff.
As you should.
Case. But I took both of the boys in there, and my little one, Bryson, he was so excited to get in. He's like walking around the little car, looking over, peeking out the window. He was so cute. But then when it started moving, he hit the floor. He sat on the floor. He was like,
No, he didn't.
It was kind of shaky because it's like cobblestone over there.
Yeah.
So he was like bracing himself, so that was funny. So we did that, did some shopping around there, and then we went out to eat. So that was nice, just to have a normal family fun day. We haven't been able to do that in a while, because we tried to keep the boys inside, but it's warm out. We had the boys in the stroller, try to be as safe as possible, but they had a good time at the restaurant. Kendon was so excited. He's always like, "Mom, can we go to a restaurant? Can we go to a restaurant?" Or if we pick up food, he's like, "Can we eat here? Can we please eat here?" He was so excited to order his food from the waiter. He was like, "I would like to have cheeseburger." No, he said a hamburger. And they're like, "Would you like cheese on that?" And he said, "Yes." And then he said, "Can I have apples as well?" I was cracking up, but he was so polite and so well behaved. I was in shock. Because it's been a while, it's been a while since we actually went out and sat down. Bryson, he was tearing up the crayons and having a ball, eating up everything. So that was nice and fun. And then Sunday, I did a little Sunday fun day with my best friend. And it was my cousin's birthday. So we went to this place in LA called The Parlor. And so they had like the fight showing and everything like that, and food and drinks and stuff. So that was fun. I was a little nervous because I thought they were gonna have a capacity situation, and they did not.
It was Atlanta in there.
Right. I was like, "Oh, it's open over here." But we had like a section in the back. So I just wore my mask through and then stayed in our little area with the people that we came with. So it was nice and fun over there. Yeah, nice. So it was a different experience. So I haven't been outside like that in a long time. I was like, "Child, I don't know what I'm supposed to wear. I've been wearing yoga pants." Like, I've been wearing my mama uniform. I'm like, what am I gonna rid of this thing.
Like, you know what? It's so crazy to socialize after everything. It's just like it's an experience in itself.
And everybody there was so comfortable. I'm like, y'all been outside. They just
Yeah.
talking and like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, listen, back up, give me 50 feet.
Like, I'm gonna need you to stand over there 6 feet and talk.
Yes. And just being in that type of environment, I haven't been in that type of environment in a long time. And so like, you know, there's girls like trying to sit down in your section because their feet hurt. And then like people are like, no, you do not pay to sit over here. Like, what are you doing?
You know what? You know
It was
what?
so funny. My brother was there too, and we were people watching and cracking up the whole time. Like, oh my God, it was so funny.
Like, what is
But
going on?
yeah, but I'm glad I went. We had a good time. How was your weekend?
That's good. You know what? So Sunday, I finally went somewhere that I really wanted to go. I went to Melrose Trading Post in LA.
Oh, girl, you was down the street. We was on Melrose too.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
That's funny. Okay, so that's funny. Um, so I went to Melrose Trading Post or whatever, and because I love a good little shopping, like I'm just always down to shop. I own a clothing store, like I just shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I rarely shop for myself. So when it comes to shopping for myself, like since I'm just a fashion person,
Mm-hmm.
I like unique pieces in my closet, right?
Yeah.
So those type of places are perfect to go to get unique pieces. Like, remember when we went to the Beyonce thing? I had this like really unique jacket there. You
Oh,
know, like
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
everybody there was like that jacket, that jacket. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
girl,
No, you can't get this exclusive.
this is exclusive. This was made a long time ago. This is vintage. This is vintage.
Right.
But yeah, so I was out there shopping and I have been looking for army pants for so long. And I finally found the perfect high-waisted, long enough army pant. And it's like, if you're into army pants, you
That's
know,
a
like
staple. Oh, and it's a struggle to get the perfect fit.
it's it's a struggle. It's a real struggle. So we found this guy down there and it's high waist. I'm 5'7", so finding that length alone and a high waist is really hard.
Yeah.
So me and my sister were down there and we both got a pair, but the one I got, let me tell you, it snatches the waist.
What?
It goes beyond the ankle.
What?
It's giving Tiana Taylor. It's for
So
me.
it's baggy in the right places.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's just like, and it was $40.
What?
And I talked him to 35.
What?
I was in heaven, okay? And then on top of that, I did not know that the trading post is like influencer heaven.
Oh, for like pictures and stuff?
No, like actual YouTubers and stuff.
Oh, they were like in there?
They were like packed in there. I was like, is this where you guys really shop?
Oh,
Because
wow.
they were in there. I saw Arnell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw Arnell was there. I saw Hey Gorgeous was there.
Mm-hmm.
And one of her big YouTuber people, but it was just like you would see people and you'd be like, you look really familiar.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, is this, I guess, they be doing swipe up to shop. No, they ain't shopping there.
They shop.
They at the Trading Post.
Right. Because why would they shop at Pretty Little Thing where everybody gonna have what they have on? Like, no.
Yeah, because you ever notice, like, sometimes because I'm a trend watcher, so a lot of times some YouTubers and influencers, they are pretty fashion forward, or like I'm just a trend watcher, like seeing what's catching on, right? And sometimes you'd be like, no, so that's a little different right there.
Right.
It's the Trading Post.
Wow. I'm sure what's the name shops there. She be on her fashion tip, Aaliyah J.
Oh yeah, she's probably for sure there. And then after that, I never get to go to Zara. Okay,
Oh, they have so much good stuff right now.
they have so much good stuff right now. I've been on the website, but with Zara, like you just want to. Sometimes with Zara, you just want to buy it in person.
Yeah, you want to go in and really like be in the experience.
Yeah, so we went to Zara, and I finally got these heels that I really wanted, and I was really happy about that. And we also went to H&M. H&M really pissed me off though, because as a store owner, like they're fast fashion, so they have stuff, cheap, made cheaply or whatever, right? I'm gonna cut this off. I know I'm probably being extra, but they have sweatpants shorts
Yeah.
for like, I think it was like
$5.99.
$5.99. I was pissed.
Why?
Because I can't. I can buy clothes.
Compete with that.
No, I cannot compete with a $5.99
No.
short.
Yeah, you can't compete with that because I sure did give me some.
My little sister got some. I was like, put them back.
The whole set because they had. I think the shirt was more.
The shirt was $14.99.
Yeah, but still, you got a whole set popping for.
Yeah, a whole set popping. It was good quality. I was mad. Okay?
From a store owner's perspective, from a consumer, I was like, hell yeah, give me every color.
See, I was like, this is why I was not out here trying to sell a whole bunch of sweatpants when it was popping, because I am not competing with $14.99. Okay.
And they had all the t-shirt dresses, all the tunics, all the comfy mom gear, as I call it.
Yeah, I was
just throw on.
It was a belt for the belt I bought $5.99. $5.99.
Okay, so let's move on to what was happening in the streets this weekend. Okay. Because so like yesterday, like I said, I went to go watch the fight basically. Did you watch it?
Listen, I told my husband, like, should we buy the fight? I said no.
We'll see the highlights on
We'll see the highlights. And then I was real aggy because somebody went live, and he always was live, and then he got mad that everybody went on his live to watch it for free and then cut us all off right when it started.
Oh, that's messed up. He's like, why y'all come to my live today?
Yeah, because you showing the fight for free.
Right. They had the place I was at, they had so many screens in there. It's crazy. But yeah, so they have a whole bunch of fights leading up to the actual main event. I didn't realize Ocho Cinco was fighting.
Yeah, I didn't either until afterwards, because they said he got knocked out, right?
Yeah, I think after the 4th round. When I first saw him, he was doing good. I went to get some food and they said he was out. So he looked like he was doing good. I was like, he got him right. They were like, nah. He got paid though.
Okay.
So yeah, so the main event was cool. I didn't know that they weren't gonna be like declaring a winner until like we were halfway through the fight. I was like, this is dumb. Like, so unless he knocks him out, it's not gonna be a clear-cut winner.
Right. But people still count the punches at home. But there's no like, cool.
That's what they said on Instagram today, that I guess Mayweather landed the most hits.
Yeah.
And what was the guy's name?
Logan Paul.
Logan, yeah. His face was a little beat up today. He was like, my face should be way worse than this to be fighting the champ. He was like, look at this, I only have this and this. And then there's a slide of a picture where Mayweather's hand was connecting and the guy's hair was going one way, his cheeks was going the other way, his eye was going the other way. It's like, bro.
Bro, you crazy.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It looks
you popped that Tylenol and then got on the live, okay?
Right, you let the swelling go down, because that photo looked like he basically knocked you out. You just didn't fall to the ground. maybe he was holding you. I don't know.
You know that jaw hurt.
Right. Yeah. So that was cool.
You ever been in a fight before?
The only fight I've ever been in, this is so funny. The only physical fight I've ever been in, I think I was in the first grade or kindergarten. I think I was in the first grade with my best friend, my childhood best friend. I'm not like still friends with her or anything, but she used to spend the night at my house. She lived around the corner from my house, and we used to hang out all the time. And so my mom, interesting enough, my mom was voting. Like, you know how like back in the day, like to vote, they used to have voting at people's houses and like random places. So my mom stopped to go vote, and she's like, "You stay in the car." I don't remember what we were arguing about, but somehow we just end up fighting in the backseat of my mom's car, like fist fighting. And so I was like much bigger than her. Like she was really small. And so yeah, I beat her up, but then I felt bad. I think she called me stupid or something. Like she was just big. I think we spent too much time together.
Yeah.
And like we were getting on each other's nerves. And my mom was like about to drop her off, but she made that stop. And I had already reached our limit. But I vividly remember that. That's the only physical fight that I've ever been in. Like, I'm not a fighter. Like, when I was in college and anybody tried to, like, step to me or, like, I'm a non-confrontational person. Most people like me. Like, I've never had anybody blatantly just not like me or get into it with anybody. But, like, you know, when you're out, somebody, like, bumps into you or you bump into somebody and then they try to get all, like, hot.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. My best friend is a fighter and she will always push me out the way and fight. I probably would have been like, girl, it's not that deep. Like, it's crowded in here. If we bump each other, just don't be disrespectful. That would have been the end of it for me. But no. Yeah. My best friend, she was sitting on ready at all times. She was sitting on ready last night because some guy walked into our section trying to holler. And I'm like, bro, I'm married, back up. And then my brothers are literally sitting right there. So they were not going to let the guy get to me. But he was really drunk. He was inebriated. He was not like in his right mind.
Right. She
done pushed my brother out the way and pushed the guy. Like, get out of here.
You know what? You gotta always have a friend like that, though. Yeah. You gotta have a friend that's down. That's good, though.
She's always down. Have you ever been in a fight? Wait a minute.
Kendra, yeah. Look.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Which one you about to say? Because
I've never been in a fight, but you done stopped me from being in some fights.
I sure did. That junk was so funny.
It was funny.
It was so funny.
I was hot, too.
You want to tell a story or should I tell a
story? Listen. The best part of this story is the person that took me down there thought we was really going to watch the football game.
Right. They were so like shocked.
Shocked. Okay.
And they're like, what is happening?
Listen. Okay. I'm gonna keep it cute and short.
Okay.
Long story short, when Kendra and I were in high school, we had like a trio, right? Mm-hmm. And in this trio, after high school, I had found out she had different stuff that she had said about me or whatever. Mm-hmm. So at the football game, you know, all the seniors come back. So I found out
a homecoming game.
Yeah, the homecoming, everybody's gonna come back, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what? I'm hot. I'm mad. I'm just like, I'm not really a fighter.
Right. I think when you saw her, it was like, oh.
It was just like, yeah. Like, you know what? I'm going to choose violence.
I'm going to choose violence today.
And so it's so funny because the guy that I was dating at the time, he was like really into church and he was like a church, I'm gonna leave that out. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but anyways, he thought we was going down there for this football game, homecoming. He was in the car for an hour and a half, 2 hours to go to this game.
And
I'm sitting there like,
but you hand your purse to him. He was like, what is going on? And he looking at me like, what's wrong with your friend? I'm like, bro, just back up.
And the funny thing is you know how like guys don't know that other side of you sometimes?
He looked completely shocked.
Completely shocked because I'm the type of person that's like I'm a very laid back individual.
Yeah.
But
Tourists, we don't mess with people unless they mess with us. Like,
it's a tourist thing.
Yeah.
It's a tourist thing. It's a tourist thing. But anyways, she ran. She
did. Was she was the one that was trying to take her boots off, right?
Yeah.
She and her sister. No, her sister was the reason why it escalated too, because her sister was trying to act like she was gonna get it done, but
I blacked out. I don't know.
The fight didn't happen. It almost happened. Me and the guy she was dating, had to remove Nicole. and and we had to end the night there. But
we didn't see the game. We didn't even get in the gate, I don't think, to see the game.
I don't think we never made it past the parking lot.
And then we had to get in the car and drive back home. And he was just like, not back home, but drive back an hour, 2 hours. And he was just like, what was that about? And he's just thinking, huh?
I was about to say, but that just goes to show like we're not fighters. If that's your only like like we're not really those type of people to be picking a fight, or we just great personalities and people just like us. So
I think my trigger is I'm not a fighter. I've never gotten a fight with somebody, but my thing is some people, I don't like when people get real close to you, like real close to you, and act like they are really a real friend. And then you have to find out from somebody else that they said this, that, and the other.
Right. No,
like
that irks me as well. Like, don't try to. And then when we confronted her about it, it was like, remember we went to Denny's?
Went to Denny's.
Meet up with her at Denny's like way after. Like we finally talked about it. And she came in all prim and proper, and she was like, I'm not ordering anything. Oh, the waiter came and she's like, I'm not having anything. And put her hands like on the table, like I'm here for a meeting basically. And she was just sitting there with her water, like I'm not having anything. And me and Nicole looked at each other, laughing. You don't remember her?
I don't remember. I kind of do, but I kind of don't.
Because it lasted 5 minutes. Like she ended up, the moment we confronted her about something, she got up and walked out, and we continued to enjoy our meal. So
is that what happened?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, speaking of people getting close to you and then talking mess,
we got a little update.
This Portia update, okay? The side chick, right?
Yep.
She started pushing receipts of Simon, Portia's fiance.
Cutting that check.
Send her that Cash App money. First, it was $1,000, March 31st.
Then she got a raise, girl.
Of $2,000, right?
Yep.
And that's I don't care if they weren't friends on the show. Once you come to my house, you can't talk to my man. Like that's too far.
Okay. So we jumping. So like, okay. So the side chick, she posted her little receipts or whatever, and then she made a post talking about why settle for, she called her a portion, whatever that is. When you can have, I get it now.
Yeah,
why that was clever. She said, why settle for a portion when you can have a whole queen? And then she said, makeup coming soon, where my peach at? So she's basically trying to capitalize off this situation. She's apparently coming out with some type of makeup line. and she's shooting her shot to be on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, I ain't mad at her for trying to
Okay.
get a bag off this situation
Might
because
as well.
she thought she was going to get that Simon bag, and then Portia swooped in and locked that down. So now she like, I'm going to still try to capitalize off this situation. So I ain't mad at her. But
Yeah.
that is still raggedy. The whole situation is raggedy. Like, and then Fallon, oh God.
Oh God. I think when does that? I think that comes out later this week.
Yeah, she trying to do a red table talk situation, but I guess is it at a YouTube show that she's supposed to be on?
Yeah, so Fallon is gonna sit and do a little tell-all on some kid's YouTube channel about the relationship and the marriage, and I can't wait to see that. Honestly, I might watch it, but the promo, she was talking a little too slow, and
Mhm.
like when I'm watching video, I need people to speed it up.
Yeah,
So
especially when there's like a and you're doing a snippet, like it needs to be like capturing. They did the whole
yeah.
little slow walk situation, kind of like when Jordan Woods was on Red Table Talk. So that was cute. You know, it's like, ooh, it's serious.
Right, it's and dramatic.
Very dramatic. So we'll see how that goes. But apparently, the guy that she was accused of cheating on Simon with, there was some receipts that came out about that situation. I guess the guy is denying that they were ever in a relationship or they ever were messing around. He said that they were friends and Simon knew who he was and he knew about their relationship. So there was some receipts posted of them like in a conversation where Simon hit up this guy, I guess his name is Jalen, asking him if Fallon was with him. And he's like, she left the hotel an hour ago. You know, she's not answering her phone. I'm trying to figure out where she is. And then the guy's like, yeah, she asked me to meet up with her. And he said, is everything okay? Have you seen her? And he's like, I just met up with her. I told her to look at her phone. And he says, okay, I just talked to her. I just wanted to make sure she wasn't kidnapped. So the way their conversation is going seems as though they have a pretty cordial relationship.
Yeah.
Or it could be, this was in January, the date is January 14th. So it could be that she says that they got a divorce or they started separating in January. They started the process in January. So it could have been that they were already in the process of separating and he knew that she was messing with this dude. So he was like, whatever, I don't care. I'm going to just ask him and make sure she's okay. But the way that they were talking is if they talk all the time.
Yeah, that was real cordial.
Very cordial, almost friendly like. So that's a
Yeah.
little shifty. I don't know what they got going on there, but I don't know. This whole situation is just a lot.
It's
Like,
a lot, and I hope Andy got it. I hope Andy is pressing record because all this drama, you might as well get paid.
I'm trying to figure out if Portia is even going to do Real Housewives because she
Yeah,
alluded to the fact that she wasn't doing Housewives, but she has this other show. So I'm like, what show it's going to be on? It's going to be on Housewives, it's going to be the other show. I don't know.
but all this drama stewing up, she's probably just trying to increase her check.
Side note, I'm interested to see who's going to be on the next season of Real Housewives because I saw today that Sheree and Phaedra were together and they never like post
What?
pictures or whatever of them hanging out. So
Oh,
I'm like, hmm,
I can't lie. I love Sheree.
I do. She is so messy. And if her and Phaedra come back, we have a show.
We have a show.
We have a show and I'm here for it. So I hope that was a little teaser of what's to come.
And if Candy got to be gone for a season, then Candy got to be gone for a season.
So be it. She's supposed to have her ugly little old lady gang show or whatever. So
Yeah,
if that's it, it is what it is.
it is what it is. Okay.
So that's all the tea we got today because the streets was talking. So we're gonna move into our Mama moment. What was your mama moment this week, girl?
Mama moment. You know that post that we had earlier that your kids see, like, no, don't be hard on yourself, basically. Like, your kids, they see you as the best,
Right,
like,
right,
don't be so hard on yourself. Like, your kids see you as the best. Well,
right.
like, my kids are into this whole thing right now. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but
Mhm.
they're like, they just want to call me their best friend.
Aw.
And it's like, you know how people say, like, your mom is your first best friend?
Mhm.
And it's like trying to play on this fine line of like, oh yeah, I'm your best friend, and then it's like, I'm not your best friend, I'm your mom.
Right. We ain't friends. I'm your
We
mama.
ain't friends. I'm gonna whoop your butt. No, no. So it's like trying to play on that thing, but it definitely like harps on your heart
Mm-hmm.
when they're like, good night, best. You're my best mom. You're my best friend.
Right. It's so sweet.
And you're like, oh.
No,
So I'm just like, I'm really your mama, huh? I'm your first best friend.
right. Yes.
But then it's like you have to create that balance or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what was your mama moment?
So I talked about before, I think I talked about it last week that I wanted to start doing, or maybe 2 weeks ago, that I wanted to start doing like mama time with my 4-year-old.
Yeah.
So we've been doing it almost every day. I think I missed it a day or two. But but for the most part, he knows, like he expects it, he asks for it. So it's been really good just to spend that time with him. I do more than 10 minutes, even though we set the timer for 10 minutes. Sorry, that's my computer. Even though we set the timer for 10 minutes, we go over. But it's been nice. What he likes to do is he's like, come on, mom, let's sit on the floor. And he gives me a teddy bear, and then he takes a teddy bear, and like we talk to each other with the teddy bear. It's kind of like puppets.
Yeah.
And he wants to read books, and it's just been really fun just to see, what he's gonna want to do that day. Um, and he gets really excited about it. So yeah, it's been fun. I've been enjoying it as well. Some days I'm tired. I'm like, oh, I could be doing other things right now, but it's really important. And the fact that he requested makes me feel like it's even more important. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's been nice. And he's been giving me more hugs lately because when he turned about, I want to say like 3, he changed his mind that he didn't want hugs anymore. Like
Oh.
only when he feels like it. But now he's been like coming up to me, hugging me for no reason. And like,
Oh.
like he's just feeling all the love. So I think it's doing the little trick. And then another thing today, this is actually funny. So I don't know if you guys watch The Breakfast Club, but my husband and I watch it, so you'll randomly hear like the little intro, like this is and at the end they say Breakfast Club. So Brandon thinks that's so funny. So whenever he hears that, he runs into the room and he's like, Breakfast Club. And he starts cracking up laughing. So today I was like, I'm about to record him and post it on Instagram. So I
Yeah.
recorded him saying Breakfast Club. and, and so I tagged like the Breakfast Club, Angela Yee, everybody on the show. And Angela Yee actually reposted it.
No way.
Yeah. So I thought that was super cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So that was a nice little fun thing today. Like, oh, she has hella followers. Follow me, guys.
Okay. Follow somebody's mama. Okay.
Right. I made sure I posted one of our posts right after that. So if people
Yeah.
like click through, they see,
Make
that.
us see.
Yeah.
Angela Yee is known for being really, really nice too.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that was so sweet.
That is really sweet. That's so cool. It's so cool when people repost. That's why I always like to repost people, because it's just a nice thing.
Did you see in the media about the girl getting mad at JT from City Girls for allegedly not reposting her dress that she made.
Yeah, and come to find out JT reposted it and just
Yeah,
didn't tag her.
yeah. So I'm like, how do you feel about like celebrities? Should they be obligated to do that?
Oh, I think like if your following is tagging you in it a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a friendly celebrity, like you're a friendly celebrity,
Yeah.
then you should like I love when what's her name? Oh, Lizzo.
Oh yeah.
She's always like engaging. She's a friendly celebrity, you
Yeah.
know?
It's a good look. I don't think they're obligated to do it. Obviously, it's their page. They can do whatever
Right.
they want. But I think it's a good look. It's a small gesture. You press one button because you obviously saw it. The worst thing is for a fan to see that you saw their post and now you didn't just click that little blue button, you know?
Yeah.
So in this case, JT did repost it. She just didn't like tag the girl and make a huge deal about it. And the girl was like breathing down her neck about it, like posting bad stuff about her. And she's like, listen, it's a lot of people that recreated my dress. And
Yeah.
my birthday was in December. You reposted this in June or May. Like, that's old news. I'm not about to make a big deal about it. You took 6 months to make the dress. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, she didn't, of course, she didn't say everything I just said, but I'm sure
That's
that's what she meant.
it.
Like, she basically said, my birthday was in December. Like, sis, I did what I could do. I'm not doing no more than that. So I'm not mad at her. At least she actually did it. If you missed the post, then that's on you, girl.
Yeah, and think about okay, and think about all the people that recreate Kim Kardashian's looks, okay?
Yeah, she can't repost all those people.
She can't. And if you're doing it for a repost, then you're doing it for the wrong reason anyway.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So let's jump into our topic. You want to introduce our topic?
Our topic this week is a highly requested. What?
I said yes.
It's highly requested stay-at-home moms versus working moms, the pros and the cons. Everybody always wants to know what's the pros and the cons, and luckily you get that with us.
Right, you have both representations sitting right here.
Yes. So Kendra is a stay-at-home mom. I'm a working mom, but we're gonna get into like a little bit of our backstory of our situations and explain the pros and cons so that you guys can just get a good idea of what each life looks like.
Right, from our perspective.
Yeah, from our perspective.
It looks different for everybody. Everybody's going to have their own thoughts about it, but this is just our point of view.
Exactly. So, Kendra, do you want to start off or you want me to go?
Sure, I could start. So okay. I am a stay-at-home mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 4 years. So when I had my first son, I kind of always knew that I did want to stay home at least a year or two if I could, but it wasn't like a definite thing. It obviously depend on if you can do it financially. My whole thing was if I had a babysitter that I could trust, I would have went back to work after like 6 months. But at the time, my mom, she wasn't retired. I didn't have anybody that lived in the area. I didn't want to send him to an actual daycare center. This is my first child. I just wasn't feeling it. So after several months of being on disability, I continue to do that.
I need them notes.
Yeah, hit me in the DMs and I give you my references on how you can, be on maternity leave for a year. Yes, I was getting a check for a year. Anyways, so I talked with my husband about it.
Oh wait, because you were able to do that for a year, we got to shout out your husband too.
Yes, shout out to my husband. He is the GOAT. Okay, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So he saw that I was completely stressed out about just the idea of going back to work. As soon as I had my son, what was on my mind was, oh my gosh, am I going to have to go back to work and leave this precious little baby? I can't. I don't want to do it. And so it was just stressing me out. And so I was talking to my husband about it, and he's like, well, let's just keep doing what we're doing. So we continued to do the the disability until I exhausted all of the, and mind you, we had moved from Long Beach to Corona. So my plan, and I worked in LA or Inglewood to be exact. So my plan was always to like not go back to that job, but I was going to apply for Riverside County social work. So that was my plan. But in the midst of everything, I was just like, I'm not ready. I can't do this. I would like break out crying.
Yeah.
So my husband is a numbers guy. If the numbers make sense, he's down. So he did some calculations. He's like, we move this around, we move that around. All right, we good to go. So I'm like, really? Really? So that took so much stress off of me. So it was amazing. And then a couple years later, I planned both of my children. I'm that girl. Like I was like,
Yeah.
this is when I'm gonna stop my birth control, and hopefully I get pregnant within this time frame. But yeah, so then I got pregnant with my second son in 20, 2018, 2019, 2019. And I had my first son in 2016. So it was about 3 years apart. But I decided, I was like, I'm not going to go back to work if I'm going to have another child. It doesn't make sense to go back to work and then have to stop again. So my
Right.
plan was just to stay off of work until both kids are in school, and also work whatever side businesses that I want to do. I'm a makeup artist. So before the pandemic, I was doing makeup on the weekends, weddings, things of that nature. And then I also started an online children's boutique. So I never wanted to just stay at home and, just be there. I always wanted to work as well. So working on those businesses and, doing the makeup still brought me fulfillment in the workspace. But I was also able to be at home with my kids. So that was a pro. I guess I'm moving into the pros. So that was a pro, was to be able to work on my passion projects, I should say, but also be at home to be the one to raise my children. So having more time with them was at the top of the list for me. I didn't want to miss out on those moments of, their first steps, their first words, when they roll over, like all those things. That's what was giving me anxiety, like not being able to be there for those moments. So that was definitely a pro. And also, just to have the opportunity to have the ultimate influence over them. So, you're the one that's creating the structure throughout the day, how they speak, what they're going to eat, even though these kids, they switch it up on you in a minute. You can create all these meals, offer them all these things, and then one day it's like, I don't like that no more.
Okay.
But the idea of being able to the main thing was to be there, and also safety. My concern with sending my kids to daycare was, I'm like, well, do they have a nanny cam that I can look up on my phone all day long? A lot of places do have that now. Because, when you see stuff in the media, these daycare workers be just as tired as parents are, and they were doing some crazy stuff. So just not having anybody that I could trust was a safety concern of mine. And then moving into now, it just worked out because with COVID, I was already home. I was able to homeschool. We already had our routine down and everything like that. So I would say the overall pro of being a stay-at-home mom is the fact that you're in control of what's going to happen with your kids all day long. Now the cons is that you're in control of what's going to happen with your kids all day long, 24/7. You don't get a break. So you know, as even as a working mom, it's like if something happens while your kid is at daycare, you're usually the one that's going to have to leave work and
Yeah.
do what you need to do. So I'm not gonna go into. Go ahead.
You really hit that on the point that the pro is that you have control over what um like your child, like the experience, because and then you also said that it's also a con, and I think that's something a lot of people don't realize is
Mhm.
that spending that much time with your kid can be a pro and a con, because I'll never forget like talking to some of my friends that were stay-at-home moms, and or like when I would take a day off and I'd be at the park, and some of the stay-at-home moms, like they would be so frustrated that they would take it out on their kids.
Yeah.
And I used to think like, dude, you want to spend all this time, or you want to be right there having all this time, like
Hmm.
why are you sitting here bullying your own kid?
Yeah. You have
And
to
it's
have. It's important that you have implemented time, even though there's really no
yeah,
time. You have to make that time. So what I've done that helps me to have balance is nap time is
yeah,
like my personal time. So I was like, mommy's taking a break. So with my 4-year old, he doesn't like to take naps anymore. So we implement quiet time with him. So he needs to go in his room. He can read a book. He can watch TV. He can lay down and relax, play with his toys. But
yeah,
what he does it silently. Like that's, of course, he comes in like, "Mommy, is it over now?" But you
yeah,
know, he knows he has that time. And then I've kind of like synced it so that my 1-year old is sleeping while he's having his quiet time. So I get those 2 hours to do what I need to do for myself and clear my mind and just do what I need to do to have myself okay. Because if you're not okay, like
yeah,
you said, you're going to be lashing out at your kids. Like some people, they let it build up so much
yeah,
it just comes out terrible. And I don't curse at my children. I don't curse anymore,
right,
but I don't curse at my children. I don't talk down to them or make them feel bad for, whatever correction, of course. But if you're not able to have time to breathe, and even if you're a working mom, if
yeah,
you go to work from 9 to 5, you go pick up the kids, you come home, you do all your routine with them, and they're acting up, they don't want to do X, Y, and Z. It's like you're over
yeah,
too, because you got the pressure of work, and then you also have to come home with the pressure of the kids. And
yeah,
it can be overwhelming. I think that's why people say, like, working mom is hard, stay at home mom is hard. Like, nothing is greater than the other. Like,
yeah.
either way, you're working around the clock 24/7 because you're the mom.
And you know what? I think people don't realize they have to give them, like, they think, oh, well, since I'm a stay at home mom, I have to give my kid the whole day attention. And they don't understand that you have to take a break. You have to find a way to bring that balance. Because if you don't, like, it's gonna mess with your sanity.
Yep.
And you know what else I think a lot of people don't know about being a stay at home mom is people think that if you're a stay at home mom, that your house is going to be like perfectly clean all the time because you're home all day.
No.
And it's like, no, your kid is home all day. Like your kid is
Breaking every
playing, opening everything, going in the bathroom, opening everything. Like when my friends, I would go to their house and they would just be like, girl, just like, be like, oh, wow, that's such a, like a false reality that people share, that like stay-at-home moms' houses are just perfectly clean all the time because they're home. As if a stay-at-home mom wants to clean all day while they're with their kid.
right.
You know?
Yeah. So I mean, and then on the flip side of that, sometimes people think, well, because I am a stay-at-home mom and my kids are running ragged all day, I don't have to clean up because, like, I don't have time to clean up. I'm not a believer in that either because
Yeah.
my house is always clean except for the play areas that the kids play in because you have to do, everybody is different, but for me,
Yeah.
it's a mess and it's clutter and it's like I'm gonna be more all over the place because I'm looking at my house like what is happening to my house. But
Yeah.
so for myself, I have to keep like, so they play in the loft area and then they play in their bedroom as well. So those areas, it's gonna be toys everywhere. And then when they take a nap, I clean up. And then when they wake up, they mess it all up again. But for my sanity, so when I'm having my quiet time,
Yeah.
everything looks clean and I'm able to have peace and I'm able to do what I need to do. So you have to do what's best for you, but you
Yeah.
should never feel bad as a stay-at-home mom if your house is a mess. Like you said, you
Yeah.
have kids, especially if you have multiple kids, like everybody wants to do something different. And you would drive yourself crazy running behind those kids, cleaning up everything that they do.
Okay.
Like you're gonna be dog tired by the end of the day and not wanting to, cook and like do all this stuff. If your kids are fed, if they're happy and healthy, that's all that matters. You could clean up,
Yeah.
you could hire somebody to help you clean up. You can clean up later. And don't feel bad, stay-at-home moms. I think I said this before. If you're a stay-at-home mom, don't feel bad asking for help or getting
Yeah.
help because
Yeah.
it's a lot of work. Like and people have this idea that stay-at-home moms are sitting down all day and watching soap operas and just chilling, or you don't have nothing to do. They'll call you all day long because they think you're not busy, or you're always available. And it's like, no, I have these kids.
Like I'm watching I'm like, yeah,
Like
exactly.
you hear them in the background. My friends always know, they're like, when I call you, I know I'm calling Kenneth and Bryson too.
Yeah.
So
And
don't
the
be
kids
like,
have schedules, and you
yeah,
mess up the schedule. You mess up that schedule. It could take a minute to get back to that schedule.
absolutely. So it's a lot that goes into it. Just like working moms, when they go to work, from the time they get there to the time they go home, they're working. Stay-at-home moms in general, from the time you get up, you're
Yeah.
working to the
Yeah.
time that them kids go to sleep. And then even after they go to sleep, because you got to clean up the mess that they made. And then like also I'm homeschooling, so I have to prepare the lesson plans and work on whatever other projects that I want to work on for myself as well. But I like to be busy. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me to be busy. It does get overwhelming at times, but I have a great husband and he jumps in when he can. He'll even jump in the middle of the day. If he sees I'm overwhelmed, he'll be
Yeah.
he'll be like, "Come on, son, come sit here and get your laptop," his little fake laptop, and he'll sit next to him and work. He's like, "As long as you're quiet, you can come in the office." So it really helps to have a great supportive partner, because I think that can be a con as well. If your partner, I'm in this stay-at-home mom group on Facebook, and a lot of times I read their stories and I feel bad for them, because it's like the men feel like they basically own them because they're a stay-at-home mom. So it's like
Yeah.
they have to do everything for the kids. They have to cook, they have to clean, they have to make sure he has everything he needs. And they said that they'll come home and like go play video games all day and like not spend time with the kids. And so
Right.
I'm just I'm grateful that I have a partner who actually still considers this a partnership, even though he's, technically bringing in the money.
Right.
We have an equal partnership. Like everything is what's mine is his,
Yeah.
what's his is mine, mine is his, vice versa. And
Yeah.
the way that we run our household would be the same if I was working or if I wasn't working. So nothing
Right.
has changed in that area. So
Right.
I'm just blessed that we have it set up the way that we do. It works for us. This might not work for everybody. Um, but you have to do what's best for you. Some people, like in my stay-at-home mom group, they said they tried it out and they didn't like it. So they went back to work. So you just
But
have
it's smart though to figure out, like, if it's not working for you, you need to realize that right away. Because whether you're a working mom or a stay-at-home mom, like if you switch to one and it's not working for you, you got to be able to figure that out right away, because that can be lasting effects on your kid, you know?
absolutely, absolutely, because man, the kids are going to get you. So whether they
Yeah.
get the you that's, that's positive and that's into this, or the you that is depressed and
Yeah.
sick of it and ready to go back to work. When the first year of doing this, I was looking for jobs every other day.
Yeah. Because it's a
And
lot.
I was just like, ooh, do I really want to do this? But after I got into the swing of things, I got a routine with him. I started taking him um to the library for story time, and like we had a schedule, so we would do something every day to get out the
Yeah.
house, because that's a con too. If you are a person that, if you're a stay-at-home mom and you feel like you need to be in those four walls all day, you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna go crazy.
Like, you have to step outside and do something,
Yeah. You
because
gotta pack the car up and you gotta get out.
let that sun hit your face.
Yeah. I'll never forget, like, with my firstborn, I was in the house so much. I was like, wait, I didn't realize when was the last time I was out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait. I was like, I've been in the house a whole month. I didn't even realize it.
Right. So
I
share
didn't go for
your
a
story,
walk.
though. Share your story, because your story is unique.
Okay, so I'm like Kendra. I like to plan. I like all my stuff planned out. And my husband and I got married really young. So for us, we've had to like kind of learn as we go a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And so when it came time to have my firstborn, we were really young. So we're still getting fixed in our careers and stuff like that. But for me, I kind of have a weird, unique situation because I worked in my mom's company.
Mm-hmm.
And so since I worked in my mom's company, I kind of had this weird thing where after my after I'd be home for at least, I would say I would be home for about with my firstborn, I was probably home for about, I don't know, maybe 2 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2 to 3 months, right?
Yeah.
And since I work with my mom, she wanted to see the baby all day. So that's how I got lured back to work, because I would come to work and she'd be like, well, just come 2 days a week. And I'll watch the baby, which did end up happening most of the time. So I would go into work and she would watch the baby a lot of the times. Or like she cleaned house. So we had like one or two employees at the time. They're watching the baby. And then at one point I had a nanny come in the office and watch the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so when my kid got to be about 6 months or so, about 6, 7 months, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of bringing my kid to work. And the day, I'll never forget, my mom calls it the day my firstborn got fired. He answered the phone.
Oh my God.
Yes, he picked up the phone and said hello. Oh, goodness. And I have all these photos of my kids growing up in the office, you know? And when I was a kid, I grew up in the office, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So what ended up happening is I'm like, I'm going crazy. My mom wants me to bring my child to work. Now my kid is, almost, is around 6, 7 months old and crawling everywhere, getting into all the files,
Mm-hmm.
customers coming in, expecting to talk to my kid. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'll just try out daycare twice a week. I found a small daycare. You search everywhere,
Yeah.
honestly. I just literally searched everywhere. I grew up in a Christian preschool, so I tend to go towards a Christian preschool.
Mm-hmm.
And usually they have less kids because it's real expensive.
Right.
So that's a con. That's a con.
Yeah.
It's a,
It is so expensive.
it's just
Out of control.
uh
You paying rent.
I'm paying rent. I'm paying rent. My kids' stuff is more than a lot of people's, college, really. And so that's the first con of being a working mom, is the cost. Now, I had a unique situation where I got to bring my kid to work, so it was a little bit of like a working mom, but having a little bit of a stay-at-home mom situation within working, just because I still had to keep my kid on the schedule,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Kids still had a nap. We still had to go on walks. Like, I'd be at the office, like, okay, we just did lunch, now we're going for a walk, and now you're going for a nap. So they would have their own schedule within the office. And then with them going to daycare, a con of it costing a lot, then you have mommy guilt, you know?
Yeah.
That's like, they want it, because then at first they're having fun at daycare because they're like, ooh, all these kids, like, this is a good time, you know? But then they start to have separation anxiety, and that's just tugs on your heart, you know, because you like, they get upset when you have to leave and you drop them off, and then they get upset. But then the good daycares, they have a window where they can't see you, but you can see them.
Oh, that's nice.
So then you start to notice, like, they're like, Mom, don't go, don't go. And they shut the door, and then they see you gone, and then they get on the floor, crawl, and play.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all playing me. Y'all playing me over here.
You over there like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. They're like, woo.
And so then I was like, okay, so if you're having that response, so you're having a good time, and the staff would send photos all the time, and you could check in and watch and all that good stuff, right? Because I paid a lot of money for you to go there, right?
Right.
The con is like something you said, like trusting strangers is a big thing. I will say with my second born, I found this amazing. I never thought I'd be one of those people to let my kids to go to a home daycare. Mm-hmm. But I found this amazing daycare, Black owned, all Black women there, and they had a mixture of different races of kids, and it was a diverse group, and I was like, whoa, you know?
Yeah.
And I felt so comfortable because with my daughter too, I was just kind of like really like weird on where she was gonna go. Mm-hmm. So I just happened to come across that place, and when I met her, she's just an amazing woman, and it worked out where it's just like a home experience. She does my daughter's hair for me.
Yes, my friend has a situation like that. They call her the Lady Nana. It's like another grandma for them, and her daughter does hair. I'm like, yeah, y'all hit the lotto with that.
It's like having it's really like having another grandma, and there's 3 of them there. Mm-hmm. So my daughter Audrey, she's been spoiled since she was about 6 months over there with them. And so it's really nice when you can trust somebody, because that really makes a really big difference. Another con before I get to the pros is, even when you're a working mom, there's like, you still have to like get home and like clean your house, and like do mom like chores, you know? And I think sometimes people think that like when you're a working mom, you still don't have to do like housely things, I guess. Like they just see it as like you just work. I don't know. But I don't know. But one really cool pro is when I had my son, my husband was so nervous that I took over the baby duties and he took over the cooking duties.
Oh yeah.
So my husband does
winner.
Yeah. My husband does most of the cooking.
That's fine.
Like 99.9%, okay?
Yeah. I remember us talking about that.
Meanwhile, I had just basically learned how to cook before we had our firstborn. So I had just learned how to cook. I did a pretty good job, you know, it's the same, whatever. But he was so nervous with the baby that he would just cook. Yeah. So he cooks. So when he's doing cook, I'm doing bedtime stuff. Like I feed them, but then he feeds me and him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feed the kids, and So I feed the kids, and then I get them ready for bed, and I put them to bed. But he cooks for me and him, right? And so that was a pro.
Heck yeah.
Because I don't like coming home and cooking. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Okay. Pro is being a working mom is, you know, on the weekend when you have the husband and the wife together and you do extravagant things, right? Like you go to Disneyland, or you go to Chuck E. Cheese, or you're doing this whole weekend getaway that's like totally draining, right? It's a good time, but it's exhausting, right? The pro is on Monday, it's like when you after you drop them off and you get to work, it's like a vacation. It's not like a vacation, but it's like
you get a break.
You get a break. Like work is a break.
Yes.
Because with your kids, they're counting on you to stay alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mommy. I would just like to go to work to get a break from people to call me by my real name and not 100
So
times.
There's that too, is like getting to talk to people. Because I remember when I first had my firstborn, I was like, I haven't talked to anybody. Mm-hmm. And so, especially having kids early in a marriage and or whatever, it was like I didn't have friends that had kids yet, so I didn't understand the balance that I needed to have, you know?
Right.
And so anyways, when you go into work on Monday and you talk to your coworkers, it's kind of a break. And so if you can trust the people your kids is at, you can check in. I do pop-ups. I'll just randomly pop up at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I'm a pop-up parent. So, one time I popped up and somebody was talking to my kid foul, though. I will say that. And we got out of there and you had to give me my money back. And
for real.
And it was, you know what it is? You know what it is for the working moms? It's not the teachers. It's the after school care. Those are the ones you have to work out because those are the less experienced. Those are the people that usually get hired and their kids.
Yeah.
So it's not usually their daytime teachers. Daytime teacher is usually somebody who just really does enjoy their job. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's always been like, okay, these after school people is not it. I got to pick up my kid early, or we need to make sure we pick him or her up early. But my daughter with the home daycare, that's just heaven sent. But when they start going to preschool, when I go to work, I don't really be messing with them after school care people.
Yeah, I used to work at after school care when I was in college, and yeah, I wouldn't be trusting them kids with my kid.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't have a choice, obviously, but you know, you do what you gotta do, whether you a working mom or a stay-at-home mom. Like, you do what you have to do. You shouldn't feel bad for doing either, because you know, people question or point fingers at things that they don't understand.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, you know, people can pass judgment on both sides. Like, how could you work all day? You don't spend no time with your kids. Or it's like, you're lazy. All you do is da, 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 da. Like, take them kids to daycare. You need to get a job. Like, why are you counting my pockets?
Like come on my pocket.
If I can afford to do this,
like,
why does it bother you? Or if I have career goals and I have things that I feel like I need to do right now, how does that bother you? Like, you know, it's so many back and forth opinions about. That was another like con, I would say, for me, of being a stay-at-home mom, was like all the questions of when are you getting a job, or not when are you getting a job, but like, when are you going back to work? Are you going back to work? It's 2 years later. Are you going back to work? I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like, what don't you understand about that?
Yeah, like, what don't you get about being like, girl, you know, it's funny. It's funny that you say that because, like, with me, as soon as I get home, it's like that time that I have my kids in the car, and when I get home, because I'm a working mom, like, I just give them 100% of my focus. Like, from that time out, it's just 100%. Yeah, like, it's just 100% about you, your day. We're gonna talk. And then once they go to bed, I work again. But it's like that balance, you know? And it's like what we were saying with people's outside things of, judging what it is or what it isn't. It's like, you know, you just have to do what's best for you, one. And two, don't take advice somebody who hasn't done it. Like, if they haven't done it,
or they've never witnessed it. A lot of people in our community, like, or the Black community, like our community being the Black community, it wasn't a lot of examples of stay-at-home moms most moms had to work. Like
Yeah.
we didn't have the option. It was like, no, we need a 2 income household, or I'm a single mom and I have to do what I have to do.
Right.
I actually did have my mom did stay at home with us. She had a business that she worked from home,
Right.
or she didn't go into a physical job until I was like in the third or fourth grade.
Oh
So,
wow.
and I'm the last of four. So that's all I saw. And she was always there, you know? And
Yeah.
so that was something that I've always admired about her and that I wanted to be able to provide for my kids. So that kind of is what influenced me to want to do that. And just like you saw your mom
Yeah.
bring y'all to work with her and
Yeah.
her businesses, and like, so those things kind of have influences over you and how you're gonna
Yeah.
like carry out with your own children. And so
Yeah.
sometimes I think people question out of lack of understanding, and that's what I had to understand on my own
Yeah.
to not get upset, because I'm like, if this girl asks me one more time when I'm going back to work, it's like, why do you want me to go back to that job so bad? That was not a dream job of mine. I wasn't even going to go back to that job anyway. So it's like, or they'll say, well, what are you doing? Like, like just taking care of your kids is not enough. Like you always
Yeah.
doing something else in the eyes
Yeah.
of others. And,
Yeah.
for the stay-at-home moms out there, I just want to say, don't feel pressure to
Yeah.
have to have a side business or a side job. If you and your partner have solidified your finances and you guys are good to go with you just literally staying at home with the kids, be comfortable in that.
Yeah.
If that's
Own it.
if that what makes you happy, own that. Let people know, yes, I'm a stay-at-home mom. That is my job 24/7. But
Yeah.
if you do have other passions and desires and things that you want to do, you have the freedom. That's a good thing about being a stay-at-home mom. Is like you have the
Yeah.
freedom to choose, if you want to pick up something else, or if you want to literally just focus all your time on your kids. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was like a literal pet peeve of mine. Like, I'm like, if one more person at this party asked me,
You're like, listen here, to
oh,
each their own,
good.
okay?
Like,
Leave me
good
alone.
over here. Have I ever asked you for money?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
bro.
I'm cute, right?
Right. Okay then.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. It's just oh, and another thing. People always, I feel like, put stay-at-home moms versus working moms against each other
Yeah.
to try to divide moms. And it's
Right.
like, I know one thing was a pet peeve is like people think, oh, you're a working mom, you don't spend no time with your kids. And you're like,
What?
I definitely do spend time with my kids.
Right.
Okay.
It's the same
It's
as
not
if
all
they're
day.
going to school. Like once they're
Yeah.
school age, it's the same thing. Like,
Yeah. It's like, it's just balanced out differently. It's just balances all out differently.
yeah.
But the division that people try to put stay-at-home moms versus working moms too, and it's like at the end of the day, we both working.
Right.
Shoot.
All day. All day. And I always tip my hat off to working moms as well, because it's like not only do you have to go to work and deal with those people, but then you have to come home and be able to turn it on for your kids. Like whatever
Yeah.
stress you dealt with at work, you have to come home and turn it on for your kids and be animated and make sure they have everything they need, make sure they get all those extra hugs in, and
Yeah.
spend time on the weekends, and like deal with the mom guilt, because we all have mom guilt. Like
Yeah.
no matter if you're working mom or stay at home mom, like you get mom guilt.
You know what? It's so funny you say that. Okay, so like my schedule would always be when I got off work, I would take at least 15 minutes to myself,
Mm-hmm.
collect myself, and then pick up my kid, like just being aware of my energy that I brought when I picked up my kid.
Mm-hmm.
But something you said, wait, what did you just say?
About I forgot. Like whether you're a working mom or a stay-at-home mom, you still have mom guilt.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? I didn't think that stay-at-home moms had mom guilt
Mhm.
until it was time for their kid to go to kindergarten or like pre-K, and then like, because when you put your kid in school, depending on the school,
Mhm.
they do certain activities, right? But the some stay-at-home moms, I would see, like, would get guilt if like they weren't, like, their kid wasn't potty training as fast as they thought
Oh
they
yeah.
should, or
Mhm.
like the mommy guilt of like, oh, my kid didn't play with any other kids this week, or the
Mhm.
mommy guilt of it's raining and we're inside doing activities. Like,
Mhm.
that mommy guilt is real, and it's like that's not really something you can get away from. Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna be there no matter what.
Or you'll even feel like, I don't know, it's not necessarily mommy guilt, but pressure that your kids need to be like pro at everything because you
Oh
are
yeah.
with them. It's
And
like,
you are one on one.
yeah,
Oh
people
yeah.
expect them to be so proficient in everything because like, well, what are you doing
Yeah.
with them? It's like, do they know how to read? Do they know how to, do all this and that? It's like, I felt like people wanted me to, it was like, show me what you can do. Did I lose you? But yeah, I felt like people wanted me to like show them what I could do, or show one of my sons to be like, do you know your ABCs? They would like literally question him, like, how how do you spell your name? When's your birthday? Like, why are you quizzing him? And yep, he knows the answers to all those things because I teach him every single one.
Don't you hate when people try to like test you by asking questions
Your
to your
kid,
kid?
don't try to catch me slipping because we on point over here. Okay. I teach my kid. Okay. But yeah, it's almost like people expect for your kid to be this stellar student
Yeah,
because
they do.
you're there
Yeah.
with them every day. And so I feel like pressure in that space as well. But I feel like the mom guilt comes in when it's time to like, just like any mom, like go on a trip or um,
Yeah.
you have to leave on the weekend or, whatever, whenever you have to leave your child, I feel like in the
Yeah.
beginning with the first child, second child, you be like, all right.
And third child, you were like, look, I gotta go.
Yeah. When we go on the next trip, like they be all right. We got FaceTime.
Stay with my mama. They okay.
They good. They love their grandparents. They are good.
Okay. And the third child be the chillest. Okay. My daughter is chill.
She's so stinking cute.
Thanks.
But
She's
yeah,
real chill.
it's a lot of stuff with this topic. I feel like we can
Yeah.
definitely go on and on about this topic because it's
I think it's a lot. I feel like at the end of the day, you have to pick what is gonna, how are you gonna be the best mom?
yes,
What situation is gonna allow you to bring out the best in yourself?
yes, because that is what's gonna help your child to succeed and to be great and to feel loved. And when you're at
Yeah.
your best self, is when you're able to give the people around you the best version of you. So
Yeah.
you don't want to be trying to be a stay-at-home mom because you feel like it's the right thing to do. I'm doing air quotations, y'all can't see it, but if you feel like that's the right thing to do, but you're miserable, like this is not for everybody. Like I thought it wasn't for me for a while, so it's it's not for everybody. And if you want to go back to work, don't feel guilty about wanting to get back to the office. Like, depending on what type of career you have, like a lot of moms are like pushing the baby out and going back in 6 weeks because everything will fall apart if they
Yeah.
don't. So you just, like Nicole said, you got to do what's best for you and your family. And it's okay to try different ways. I have a friend who she went back to work and was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she, they worked it out and she was able to come back home. And then when she felt comfortable enough, she, you know, she eased back into it where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do work from home or, you know, whatever. Um, but she tried a couple ways that made her and her family feel comfortable, and it worked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's definitely all about what makes you feel comfortable.
Mhm.
Because you can't go to work with like clear mind if you don't feel like your kid is like in a safe environment or okay, or you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Once that little baby comes out, it's like your whole world changes. And
Yeah.
all you want to do is protect your child and do what's best for them. And you're always going to feel like, you know, did I make the right decision? Like, is this what's best? You know, like you're always going to have, you know, second guess yourself, but that's what makes you a good mom.
I know I've been talking to you forever, but ever since the pandemic hit, since like 2 months before my daughter was born,
Mhm.
I basically stopped working and like haven't gone back to work. I just work on my own businesses. So I've been basically kind of like a stay-at-home mom
Mhm.
more with my third daughter and with my third child. And I will say one thing, like now that I kind of my now that my business is kind of like not it's not a hobby, it's still a business,
Mhm.
but I have my daughter most of like all the time basically.
Mhm.
One thing I will say, kind of gearing in this situation and being a stay-at-home mom since I had her, because I don't plan to go back to my original 9 to 5,
Mhm.
has been that you think since you're at home you should get a lot of things done.
Yeah.
Like there's a pressure.
More pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a pressure I feel now, like, oh well, since I do my own schedule,
Mhm.
that it should just be jam packed all the time with get this to-do list be crazy, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that is one thing I didn't expect. So it's like I feel how it is to work with kids, and now being a stay-at-home mom and doing my business as I please with my third child. But my other two kids, they have activities they go to and stuff like that. But
Right.
it's very stay-at-home mom vibes with my daughter.
Mhm.
I still feel like I have so much that I have to do,
Yeah. Because
like appointments.
you pile more on your plate. Yeah, the appointments, child. My whole calendar is filled up with stuff that the kids have to do. And
Yeah,
then I squeeze what I need to do in there. And
yeah,
it's a lot. And then for the house, you know, when you're the stay-at-home mom, you're basically handling the cares of the house. So if something needs to be fixed or, you know, scheduling those appointments and
yeah,
making sure that everything is on the family calendar. We have a family calendar, so we don't miss nothing. And it's like, you know, just trying to stay on top of running the household and running the kids. And it's just a lot of managing, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of managing, and since you creating your own schedule, it's like, oh, I have an hour there that I could do that. I'll add that. Like I've added like all this stuff to my son's schedule. He's in Taekwondo. He's in Kumon. He's in water play this day with a meetup with one kid. My
Mhm.
daughter starts gymnastics. I'm like, girl, am I the assistant or what?
Basically, you would become a chauffeur.
I'm a chauffeur up in here.
Yeah, because
When
you're,
does school start? When does school start?
bruh, I can't wait for school to start. I was all nervous about it and all this and that. I'm like, listen, go put that mask on and go to school.
It's gonna be all right.
Because that wasn't a part of the plan. Being a stay-at-home mom was like, you know, it's like it's gonna work for me. But the way that I planned out um, you know, the age gap was so that my older son would be starting school when I had my baby. So I would
Oh,
have the baby at home and he was supposed to be in preschool. But as soon as I had my baby, you know, he's in a NICU, so we held off on school and then the pandemic happened. So that didn't work out.
yeah.
So you can't control everything.
No, you
Plan,
can't.
but it ain't always gonna go that way. But yes, all in all, I do like being a stay-at-home mom. It has its ups and downs, but I enjoy being able to be with my kids.
And that's what matters.
Mhm.
And all in all, I like jumping back and forth.
The freedom to do so.
Yeah, I just like the freedom that I can pick this day to be a stay-at-home mom, and then this day I can pick to be a working mom.
Right. I feel like it's all together. It's just like I don't even like the title. It's like working.
Yeah,
You always working,
you
but
always work.
working outside of the home,
Yeah.
is I feel like that's what it is. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this topic. What are you looking forward to next week or this week?
Okay, next week I'm trying to book an appointment to go to that place called We Nailed It in LA or Nailed It in LA.
Oh, was that the place that had a show? They had a show called Nailed It.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Nailed It. I think it's We Nail LA. It's like it's really cute pink nail salon thing. And like I realized like ever since I had kids, I'm just not good at oh, let me go get my nails done or this and that, right? I'm just not good at that. So when
Yeah.
I do, I kind of go all out. So I really want to go to this place in LA. I think it's called We Nail LA or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's all pink. They have one in LA, in London, and I think Canada or something like that. It's all pink place. It's just like a really cool aesthetic in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really that's my goal to try to get there. If I don't, I'm gonna be at the nail salon down the street. Okay, but listen,
I'm gonna be a Hannah now.
yeah, no, what's that? I'm not gonna put the name out there, but yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yes. So I have my cousin's wedding coming up this weekend. Finally, we've been planning for a long time, and it's finally here. So a whole weekend of stuff for her. So um, her bridal shower is on Friday, and the bridal shower is on Friday, the rehearsal's on Saturday, and the wedding is on Sunday.
Oh
So
wow.
I will be fully immersed in the wedding. But before that, my son has his surgery on Wednesday. So tomorrow I have to go take him to get a COVID test.
Okay.
And
Oh, they give COVID tests to little kids.
yes,
Oh,
yes, I am a little nervous because he's bigger, but his last COVID, he's had like 4 COVID tests before.
yeah,
Last COVID test, he was much smaller, but now he can like knock the people out. So I'm gonna have to hold his little arms down
yeah,
and let them do it quickly. So I'll be doing that in the morning. Pray for me.
yeah. We're gonna
And,
pray for you.
the surgery is on Wednesday, but they said that he should only have to recover there for an hour and he should be able to go home. So yeah, so hopefully, I mean, that all of that will go well.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we will be in full wedding mode after that. So I'm excited for that this weekend. I don't know what I'm wearing because I've ordered 5 different dresses and none of them have worked. I ordered 2 more last night and rushed them. So one of them is just gonna have to work.
Well, listen. If they don't work, you let me know because remember how I used to be part of that prom project?
Oh yeah.
I got a lot of dresses here.
Shut up. Girl, if this dress don't look right, it's supposed to be coming in the mail tomorrow. I'm gonna be down there.
You just let me know because I got buckets on buckets of dresses, and that company that I worked with, I stopped working with them to go after my own online store, and they decided not to do proms after the pandemic hit. They decided to go a different route and not do proms anymore. So I have all these prom dresses.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
Ooh, well, hopefully one of my dresses work. I have like 2 that I need
yeah.
to return. So if they don't, I'm gonna be like, hey girl, can you open up the warehouse for me?
I'm like, listen, bring the wine.
Right. I'm like, we need to just do that anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, but yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. If you haven't listened to our other episodes, make sure you go back and listen to those and leave us a rating and review. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
And a 5-star review.
Thank you. And also hit us up on Instagram at Somebody's Mama Pod. We post every single day. And I'm really proud of us because we have posted every single day throughout the day. So,
okay, we are consistent.
yes. And tell a friend, okay? We'll see you guys. Well, we won't see you guys, but you'll hear from us next week.
Yes, see you next week. Thank you for listening.